Right, welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. It apparently is now clear why Disney executives are absolutely livid with Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, Star Wars, all around that, basically. We now, and this is all alleged, of course, this is rumour, but we know that there's been this Leslie Headland Star Wars show considered to be female-centric. But some really interesting stuff has come out surrounding this character, Leslie Headland. Mainly because, well, it just goes to show how fickle people are, I guess, to how they want to get up in the world and things like that. Which, you know, ideologically, it just seemed a bit repugnant, I guess. So let's get into it, okay? Because this individual, you may not have known this, because it has, again, flown under the wayside for a lot of people, but is now, you know, us in this sphere, now we know about it. But she was also Harvey Weinstein's assistant. And she said some very interesting things about that character, which comes into play with all of this. So let's get into it, right? So Disney leaker, this is all over on Banning Into Comics. Check out the article down below in the description box. Disney leaker WDW Pro recently explained why Disney executives are livid about the rumoured Star Wars series from Russian doll co-creator Leslie Headland. Now, WD Pro is the Disney leaker who previously reported that Disney executives were livid at Lucasfilm hiring Leslie Headland, the former personal assistant of Harvey Weinstein. So, he previously indicated that they were livid at Lucasfilm, but basically he didn't really know why, just said significant PR baggage, potentially legal baggage, and that raised quite a few eyes, you know, legal baggage? What? What's going on there? And apparently the hiring of this character was done without consulting Disney or their legal department, which is just baffling. Why would you do that? Why do you think, Kathleen Kennedy, you have the ability to supersede everyone? I mean, that's just weird, isn't it? That's a special type of narcissist to think that you're above Disney. Now, I'm not saying Disney's the be-all and end-all, but Christ, if you work for them, you'd probably respect their authority. So the WD Pro has now elaborated on why Disney executives were livid at Lucasfilm for allegedly hiring Headland. And this is interesting stuff. So he says, or she says, whoever says, so just received this information. One of the reasons Leslie Headland is such a PR issue is because of quotes like these. It was so funny and great when I was working there. That was all I wanted. I would daydream that someday I'll be making movies and Harvey will buy them and he will want to support me, you know, as co-workers essentially. There's nobody like him, he's genius. You sit across from him and you're like, I cannot believe how brilliant this guy is. So his interest in me as a filmmaker just makes me feel like I made the right choice to move on. That was in 2012, so not super long ago. Now, WD Pro adds that you have to understand quotes like these come well after there were many reports about Weinstein and his predatory criminal behaviour towards women, and while you might think the hundreds of social media posts she had disappear in conjunction with the Variety League were all lewd things, the truth is that they were often loving, over-the-top endorsements of Harvey Weinstein. Now, for those that don't know, she deleted hundreds of tweets spanning years, and did so very recently. Basically, again, as he states here, in conjunction with the Variety leak that she was hired. So, Jesus Christ, like, honestly. And then there's this. This is the real doozy. This is, again, you know your audience. Kathleen Kennedy, what are you doing? WD Pro then continues and says, additionally, Bob Iger is currently being sued by Paz de la Huerta, butchered that, about Harvey Weinstein. Fuck. Which means that not only is he attempting to get out of that situation, but Kathleen Kennedy has brought the fox into the henhouse by bringing Harvey Weinstein's personal assistant into the fold. What on earth are you doing, Kathleen Kennedy? How stupid can you be? And apparently nobody at the top of Disney knows what information she was privy to during her time working directly under Weinstein. I was curious what the legal issue was that Disney was concerned about beyond the PR issue, but that's the big one I've discovered. You could potentially, although perhaps unlikely, see a situation where Kathleen Kennedy has hired someone who would have compromising information about the CEO, former CEO, and others at Disney. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. Seriously? You honestly could not make this stuff up, could you? You really couldn't. And I just think it's so baffling as well. Like, why hire this person who, again, Harvey Weinstein's personal assistant, you know, and this is laughable. Kathleen Kennedy, the force is female, more female representation. Yes, diversity is our strength. You know, all this kind of trash. But it's all just smoke, isn't it? You're just blowing smoke up people's rear ends. Because then you hire someone who literally fawned over Harvey Weinstein. Unbelievable. Now, I'm not here to cast judgment on Harvey Weinstein, but what I am saying is that ultimately, if you are so that way inclined, you know, women this, women that, etc., you'd be a bit reluctant to hire someone that fawned over the guy so much, wouldn't you? I mean, that's just logical, right? And again, I'm not someone who thinks that, you know, your past should haunt you either, but again, know your audience. And that's even outside of the whole fucking lawsuit situation from Bob Iger. My God. Now, he concludes, so now the fact that Lucasfilm hired someone with significant PR issues becomes more intriguing, and you begin to understand why Disney execs were livid about Headland not having been previously vetted outside of Lucasfilm. So what is Kathleen Kennedy playing here? Or what is her play here, sorry. Yeah, exactly. Like, what is she doing? Again, 200 tweets. And this was immediately, pretty much, before Variety reported the leak. So she knew that that leak was coming, obviously. Again, you clearly know that the leak was coming if you're going to delete all of that. Now, this was covered by friends of the channel, Midnight's Edge. They do this thing called toxic femininity. I'm not familiar with it, so I'm not going to comment on that. But they did cover it as well, which is interesting, I guess, from like a female's perspective about how women feel this woman power, jobbos come in and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But look, ultimately, why would Kathleen Kennedy do this? You know, this is just one thing in a long line of plays by Kathleen Kennedy. And you just think to yourself, ultimately, you would know this as well, right? You know, these situations here, the lawsuit, you would know this, right? This is not small stuff. You know, the CEO of Disney's being sued, right? And not too far away either, right? Like August of 2019, right? So quite recent. De La Huerta filed her sexual assault lawsuit against Weinstein last year, and a new complaint which adds Disney's Bob Iger and former Disney chairman Michael Eisner says that Eisner and Iger made a series of decisions that allowed a range of actions by Harvey Weinstein that unacceptably harmed certain employees of Miramax. I mean, you'd know this. It's been pretty largely reported. And again, not small stuff. De La Huerta came forward in 2017. Weinstein did the dirty on her. I'm not going to say those words. You get demonetized. Pretty damning stuff. And then you get... Yeah. You get Kathleen Kennedy just hiring the former personal assistant. Personal assistants know a lot about what goes on. They know an awful lot about what goes on. So to think that this, you know, this woman here didn't know any of this stuff is again, you're insulting your own intelligence. So yeah, I can see why they're livid, if this is true, of course. But hey, look, love to hear what you guys think about this. Let me know down below in the comments section. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Also, I am making a film. It's linked down below in the description box. I've done a few videos on it, but go check it out. You may want to support it, you may not. But chuck in the price of a coffee if I've saved you any theatre tickets from garbage. But anyway, guys, give this video a like and a share. But Mr. H, take care.